Hello again, beautiful people, and welcome back to another conversation with Caleb. Number 2 here, All Things Journaling, Part 2. Thank you so much for tuning in again, and I will be very excited to jump into the next 5 types of journaling that I think have either helped me the most or I have heard other people have had the most success with. So again, if you have not heard the first 5 types that I've had personal experiences with, I think only one of them over there I did not have a personal experience with. Please go find it in our Make Mental podcast on all platforms. Again, this is a conversation with Caleb's episode, part 2, All Things Journaling. Please hop over right now and listen to part 1 if you haven't, and then come back and join us. Again, short episode here, probably 15 to 20 minutes long, since I have not had as much and I don't have as many personal stories just because I don't rely on them as often, or I'm very new to them and I'm beginning. But again, if the first 5 weren't enough for you, I wanted to provide these 5 for assistance. With that being said, whether you are just coming back now and listening after taking a quick listen to the first episode of Conversation with Caleb, this journaling part 1, welcome. Welcome back. If you are not, let's get into it. If you just stuck with me through this whole time. The 5 types of journaling I will be going over in this episode are dream journaling, reflexive journaling, art journaling, religious journaling, and what is called the stream of consciousness journaling. Now, I know they all seem a little bit more, what's the word I want to use? A little bit more unique, if you will, compared to our lists and whatnot in part 1. But these have been very effective for a lot of people. The one that I have the most experience with, actually, now that I look at them more here, I think I have experience with 2, maybe 3, but not really the other 2. So we will get into the 3 that I have experience with first and move our way into some of the other ones where my expertise is not as strong. But then again, I'm not the one to decide if it is right for you. I would just provide the information. You have to talk to your mental health professional, as always. So let's jump into the first one, dream journaling. Dreaming is the art of the mind. That's a powerful, powerful line. Why not harness the power of the mind, right? Our unconscious thoughts when we're asleep at night, the 1/3 of our life that we sleep. We roughly spend 2 hours dreaming, whether you remember those dreams or not. Why ignore that rich imagery and those insights? Dreaming is an inherent part of human experience, and oftentimes it interludes daily life, right? A lot of things we dream about have happened in our life, are happening currently, or we want to happen in the future. Let's not ignore those. So you might be wondering, what is dream journaling? Dream journaling is also known as dream diary keeping, but it's the practice of recording your dreams while they were still fresh in your mind. It can help you interpret those dreams, reflect on that subconscious thoughts I just mentioned, and boost your creativity and problem-solving abilities. Why would you not want to boost your problem-solving abilities? That's a fantastic question as well. I do not have the answer to it. I think it would be great if my problem-solving abilities were mastered. Maybe I should spend some more time with dream journaling. And I realize now, I said I'm going to start out with the 3 I have the most experience with, and then went straight to one of the ones I have not much experience with. So here we are at one that I do not have a lot of experience with. But dream journaling can help you identify recurring patterns, right? Themes or symbols. You just write down what you remember from your dreams. To me, again, maybe it's because I don't have enough experience with it or because I've never called on it as a method of therapy or healing. It is that simple, right? Write down what you just thought about the night before as soon as you can. Wake up in the morning, do your morning routine, maybe while your coffee's is perking or the shower's getting hot. Write down that dream if you so remember it. Then go back and notice those patterns, right? Let's move on to one that I do have some practice. Go Global is a free-flowing technology company that handcrafts, embellishes, and manufactures garments and accessories. Designed on the principles of people, places, and possibilities, Go Global reimagines fashion and is inspired by you, the people of the world. Okay, so art journaling is a place where I have a ton of experience. I look back in my journal and I think, wow, that's all I used to do was art journaling. I used to draw pictures. I used to write poems. I used to sing songs. I used to create videos. It was a creative way for me to record my thoughts and emotions and memories using that combination of art, word, and images in a personal journal or book. Some people cut these out of magazines. It can be a healthy outlet for self-expression and can help you experiment with different art techniques and materials. It can be done by anyone, regardless of your artistic ability or talent. And it's great practice for kids who want to learn how to journal. And again, I'm not here to tell you how young is too young, what the magic age is to start journaling. But if you would like to help younger children work through their emotions, sometimes the best way to do it is imagery. For me, 13, I guess I kind of started journaling on my own. I was drawing pictures. I was calling on songs. I would take song lyrics and draw out those pictures for them. And I was a horrible drawer in the beginning. I'd like to think I got a little better, but none of you will see that journal to be the judge. So I will just tell you I did. And it really helped me get through what were struggles at the time. I mean, I can look back at them now and kind of smile and appreciate them, but kind of see how time really does change your perspective. But in that moment, that art, that pulling together of color and words and just different methods really helped me through. So if this is something you're wanting to start, it could be simple as taking the lyrics, the chorus to your favorite song and drawing out what comes to mind whenever you do it. You could do it in stick figures. You could cut out of magazines, like I said. And it could be as extensive as turning on music. I'm focusing a lot on music here. You don't have to, but for this example, turning on music and painting. Sip and paint could be a form of therapy if you'd like, but art therapy has gotten me through a lot. I don't rely on it so much at the moment, but when I look back at my early journaling stages, that is all I seemed to do, and I didn't even realize that's what I was doing. Okay, so the next type of journaling I have started to gain more experience in is religious journaling. And obviously, well, not obviously, if you listen to enough episodes of mine, you'll understand that Christianity is my faith, but this journaling works for any faith, right? I only have experience in the Catholicism world, but it can also be known as faith journaling or prayer journaling. And it's a personal record of, again, your thoughts, prayers, and reflections and experiences, but related to faith. It can really be a way to strengthen your spiritual connection and explore new faith if you choose. It can be text, written, coloring. It could have prompts. I've found that Bible verses in the bottom of my religious journal always seem to know what to say to me. I do find, in the honor of complete transparency, that I often turn to my religious journal in times of need. Now, again, not always wrong, but I'm going to try to go back when I'm happy and just take a minute to be grateful. When I'm content and just write about that and thank God for the opportunity just to be here and experience another day. Again, just because I am human, I oftentimes go to that journal when I am in times of distress and just ask for help and simply ask God to let me to continue to be a light of His, even when I am struggling. Now, I'm not here to sit here and tell you that this is the only way to do religious journaling. Simply what has helped me, just answering the question that so many of you had on what types of journaling help me. So if this is something you would like to explore, there are different types of books, and I'm sure they are out there for other religions as well. But for Christianity, there are different types of journals that have these Bible verses on the bottom. I like to use them as prompts. I read them and then write about my day accordingly. But you don't have to have those. You can simply use prayer as your form of journaling and just write out your prayers that you would normally speak. Again, can be good to go back and visit I will stumble my way through that one, just so you know what you've been praying about. Again, are you only going back when you are in times of need? Are you remembering to connect with your faith when you are feeling happy and content as well? So these next two, I started with dream, went to art, transferred over to religious journaling. These next two are the ones where my experience is not as extensive, so bear with me as I learned about these a little bit for you. And again, I'm learning with you, right? I spoke about the ones that I've used, the ones that have helped me. Now, these two I know have had success, whatever that looks like for you. And again, journaling success for me is a way to pour out your thoughts. So I know these have had tremendous outcomes on some of my friends and the guests that we've had. So we will go to reflexive or reflective journaling. This is a structured approach to writing out recordings and activities and situations to reflect on later. Let me say that again. Reflective journaling is a structured approach to writing that involves recording activities and or situations to reflect on later. Now, the purpose of writing these is to go back and look at them, no matter how scary it may seem. It can be a useful tool for both personal or professional development, and it helps to identify important learning events in your life and provides insight to self-awareness. Reflective journaling can also help expose contradictions or misconceptions and make explicit knowledge that was previously learned implicitly. I'll say that one more time as well. Reflective journaling can help expose contradictions and misconceptions and can make explicit knowledge that was previously learned implicitly. What the heck kind of gibberish are you talking about? All right, Caleb. Well, in your self-discovery journey, it's a process. It takes a lot of trial and error. This can help you figure out those trial and error points, those contradictions, those misconceptions. You might think you excel in this area, but all your journals point a different direction. You might think that you're always happy, but your journals say that you practice that you're always sad, but you practice gratitude a lot. It reminds you that, hey, yeah, you have the right to be sad, and you can be for a long period of time, but there are happy things in your life. If you get too much happiness in your life, sometimes it can be humbling and remind you to kind of reconnect, not search for the sad moments, because if you're feeling happy, try and keep that going as long as possible, but just reconnect with life, be where your feet are, not get too far ahead of yourself, and then also remember what, why, who, when, where is making you happy. I guess you could say, Caleb, what does the explicit versus implicit knowledge mean? Well, explicit knowledge is knowledge that is easy to articulate, to write down, and to share. The implicit knowledge is the application of explicit knowledge. So, skills that are transferable from one job to another is a fantastic example of implicit knowledge. An example of explicit knowledge would be a how-to guide. Again, this might sound like mumbo jumbo to you. In your reflective or reflexive journaling, whichever you'd like to call it, the soft skills, the transferable tools from job to job come naturally to you. The wake up every day, go through my routine, experience sadness, happy, joy, any experience, empathy, sarcasm, whatever emotion you have, that could be the implicit knowledge. Well, now the explicit knowledge, after your reflective journaling, your multiple checkbacks, and your tracking of this knowledge, I guess this might be a good place for me to maybe switch over and try this so I can get some data-driven therapy in myself. But that's the explicit knowledge, okay, how are these tools working? What is behind these tools? What am I doing? Again, the what, the where, the who, the when, the how, the why, behind the things that have become routine, can either help set you back on the right track or keep propelling you down the one you're on now.
Salt City Vintage, where nostalgia meets style. Salt City Vintage is a treasure trove of unique and timeless pieces that will elevate your wardrobe. Salt City Vintage believes in the power of fashion to evoke emotions and memories. They don't just sell clothes, they provide a sense of nostalgia and comfort to their customers. So, whether you're looking for that perfect vintage band tee or a statement jacket, Come visit Salt City Vintage on Instagram or at any of their pop-up locations to experience the magic of retro fashion.
And finally, the moment you've all been waiting for, the 10th and final type of journaling across a 2-episode series here. The first 2 conversations with Caleb. Again, if you have not taken a listen to the first one, I encourage you to do so, as I had more personal experience with those 5 types. These are just another 5 that I wanted to bring to your consciousness, because I felt it was necessary to not only share what works for me, but give you other opportunities to figure out what works for yourself. And I guess that word consciousness was a perfect segue into this final type of journaling. So, stream of consciousness writing is a personal writing technique where you spontaneously write down your thoughts, ideas, and or impressions as they come to mind without any particular order or structure. You just simply write down your thoughts as they occur in the same way as you would think them. This is a great way to explore what's on your mind at any given moment during the day, express emotion, reflect on past experiences, or generate new ideas. Don't worry about spelling and grammar here. This is not meant to be polished or edited. It's just raw, unfiltered representations of your thoughts or feelings. When used as a journaling technique, stream of consciousness becomes a tool for self-expression. Honestly, you don't even have to use censorship, because this is just for you. It's just for gaining personal insights. So you might be staring at your journal, not knowing what to write about. Write that. I really don't know what I want to write about today. My brain feels empty. I have no thoughts right now. It's been a very long weekend and I'm very tired. I'm definitely not speaking from personal experience here. Maybe this is a verbal stream of consciousness episode in itself, but I'm really just thankful that I've made it through the weekend, got to spend some time with fantastic people. I guess speaking personally, just got back from a wedding. This is raw, definitely raw, not really put together journal here, but it's really helping me visualize that I am truly thankful for the opportunities that I was given this weekend, and will continue to try and make sure that I make the most of them. That right there was about as stream of consciousness journaling as they come. If you can't tell by my voice, I did have a very long weekend with a soccer game and a very, very fun wedding. So my brain is dead at the moment, but I as I mentioned probably 20 seconds ago, that's about as stream of consciousness as they get. That's the final brain cells that my brain has to offer this evening. So with that, I encourage you, if any of these 5 intrigued you, reach back out to me. Reach back out to the podcast. I will try and do my best to get into them a little more. I will have the conversations with the correct people to get this available to you. So if you want to learn more about dream journaling, reflexive journaling, art journaling, stream of consciousness journaling, let me know. I will do more homework for you. This is what is needed for this community. This is what I will do. Thank you for bearing with me through this last episode. I hope it provides you with what you needed, and I am so happy to next week bring you a fantastic guest episode. Just an incredible human being. And I'm excited. I'm excited for the new structure here. There's plenty more of these episodes to go around. I think I should probably announce, with that said, what the next conversation is going to be about. So guest episode next week is scheduled in the next conversation. Are you ready to hear? The topic of the next conversation with Caleb is called, What is Meditation? So we will get into meditation, the different types. We might have a surprise quick guest if our schedule is aligned to have this person on, and they have a lot to do with meditation. So with that being said, again, thank you very much. And we look forward to hearing from you if you'd like me to look more into these, not just these 5, but even the first 5. I can continue to speak on those types of journaling. Jump into another wonderful guest episode. We hope you enjoyed Mr. Jonathan Sprinkles to kind of kickstart the episodes here again. And then we will get into everything meditation. I love you. Take care of yourself. And as always, you are worth it.